Zombie Apocalypse.
Okay, sa past video lectures natin, dinerive natin yung para sa rectangular tsaka sa tendon na triangular. So this time, let's try to derive a parabolic tendon profile. So let's get ready to be neurorized. Okay, the same way as I discussed it before in my past video lecture, again, delta T equals delta sub L plus delta C, where delta L is a total deflection. Ito yung titignan natin based on code. Titignan natin kung talagang umakyat patas or pababa yung beam. Okay? Delta L for due to loads and delta C for deflection due to pre-stressing force. Kaya usually si parabolic tendon profiling is due to the load that is uniformly distributed na pababa. So, pag ito yung nag-govern na load, usually, ito yung case talaga because of the tributary area that is being produced within the system of structure. So, therefore, mas governing talaga si uniform distributed na in terms of kilonewton per meter or pound per foot unit. But of course, in metric unit, we are understanding metric units, so which is meters and newton. So, again, pag sa tumaas ng deflection, positive. Pag bumaba is negative. So, conceptualization again. So, ordinarily, from your deflection concept and moment theory, na pag may W ka, okay, ganun ulit, moment diagram and deflection diagram. So, pag moment diagram, ito yung mapoproduce natin, no? And deflection diagram is pababa. Again, we do not want a deflection that goes down. I-reverse natin. Okay, ito yung delta C. At saka that's why we will reverse the moment diagram. So, ito na ang mangyayari. Sinishade natin red ang maging tendon profiling. Okay, so that's why ito yung lalabas natin. So, for the meantime, assuming hindi pa natin alam yung reaction na ito, okay, paano kinocompute yan? Okay, so don't forget that this is a second degree curve. So, therefore, based on your trigonometry, based on your basic knowledge on geometry, this is just only 2/3 of base times height, no? Itong area na ito. Basta't pag nagtapos or nagsimula ka na merong 0 degree slope, which is at C prime, meron ka 0 angle. So, therefore, we can use that particular value. Okay? So, ang problema, ano kaya centroid nito? Kasi kukuha ka ng left cut portion eh. So, ako yun, if you recall the value and nabasa mo siya ulit, no? This is 3/8, no? Based on the derivation of L over 2 based on this kasi tigkakalahati. Sige, let's try to have a conceptualization paano naging ganyan. So, ang main objective natin, let's say di natin alam kung ano centroid nito. Sabihin natin bar X. Tsaka ano yung area kaya nito? Kasi kukuha tayo ng left cut portion again. Okay? So, yun ang main objective. So, by the highlight, so, kuha tayo ng konting conceptualization. So, therefore, ano kaya itong bar X na to? Again, using your geometry, you will get this. So, meron kang Y2 na H, ito yung standard condition H, ito yung distance of B, tapos origin point 0, dito sa parabola natin, and then ang Y sub 2 will represent H kasi yung height, and then Y sub 1 will be kx squared. Okay? So, by derivation, we need to find out what is k based on that property, so therefore we'll get Y sub 1 equals H over B squared times x squared, which is k equals H over B squared, no? So, by similar slope condition. So, therefore, by this, using calculus basic knowledge, so, integral of dA, 0 to a, equals x1 up to x2 of delta y dx. So, again, upper minus lower, kaya y2 minus y1. Upper is h and lower is y2. And then, by integration, hx minus h over b squared, then x cubed over 3. Then, plugging in the value of b, and that is upper minus lower, then lower will become 0 kasi 0 naman yung ilalagay sa loob. So, therefore, yung upper na lang ang ilalagay natin kasi it is minus 0 din naman. Kasi all of those values is x is 0, then all values are 0. So, therefore, we'll get a is equal to 2/3 of base height. Ibig sabihin lang nito, basta't pag nagtapos or nagsimula ka sa 0 angle, yung sa sinabi natin kanina, or 0 slope, then you can avail this formula. So, therefore, ano kaya ang centroid? So, ganun ulit. By applying Varigdon's theorem, then you will get this equation, integral of 0 to b, x quantity h minus h over b squared, x squared dx, and then may integration, ito yung lalabas, okay? Then plugging in the values of b, you will get b squared h over 4, pero i-divide pa natin sa area, which is 2/3 of bh. So that's why b squared h over 4 multiplied by 3 halves of bh. So therefore, cancel yung b and h, isang b, isang h. So therefore, mangyari dito is we will get a value of 3 over 8 kasi 3 over 4 over 2. So that's why we got x bar x of 3 or h over b. So na-prove lang natin na tama. So let's continue. What we need to identify, ito mag-take tayo ng moment on the left cut portion. So you'll get this again by computation. So makukuha na natin yan. So yung PEL over 3EI, paano na-compute yan? So you just get 2/3 base height, which is PE, over EI, multiplied by L. Kasi we are taking into account yung buong fictitious loading natin na tumaas as conjugate beam property is concerned. And then take 1/2 kasi symmetrical yung load natin. So therefore, you will get that PEL over 3EI, no, by cancellation of 2. So therefore, finally, as you go back to this equation, negative PL over 3EI times L over 2, papupuntahin kasi dito, plus the area of this only, yan, no? Ibahin kaya natin kulay. Kasi violet. Yan. So, diyan ka magpo-focus. And then finally, you have to take this as a value of 3/8 of L over 2 kasi yung distance na B in the derivation as shown here at kanina. So therefore, we'll get this following equation as simplified, no? That will become delta C is negative 5 PE L squared over 48 EI. Again, negative displace, a negative bending kapag left cut portion kasi tayo. So therefore, pag negative bending, ulitin lang natin, ang deflection is going up. Okay? Or ito yung delta C. So, ito yung for negative bending. So, therefore, for a parabolic tendon profiling, the equation should be 5PEL squared over 48 EI for delta C that goes up. So, the sign is always positive for delta C. So, thanks for viewing. I hope you learned something new today. And as our tradition goes again, you have been neurorized and see you in our next video lecture.